Big time Asmongold, StaysafeTV, Turbo Beef, insane drama. Let's see what Asmongold had to say to my reaction to his reaction. We are now 3 layers deep of reactions, by the way. It's not drama. Let's go.
I don't understand. What is this? I've never heard of
this guy fucked my wife. I gotta kill him.
I was
not
gonna
that.
watch video games, but now
Hold up. Rewind. Okay, this is it.
She photoshops a completely different guy in the picture. Like, I don't even know who this guy is.
Let's go.
Let's see here. StaysafeTV disagrees with Asmongold. That makes excellent point. Asmon saying Coomers were not going to watch video games in the first place, and how they would have watched adult content to begin with. Okay. People that are going to look for video game streams are not going to go after, like, oh, I was going to watch video games, but now I guess I have to look at porn.
Then why, if that's the case, then why are these girls streaming on Twitch as opposed to any other?
Because it's the biggest platform. And also because Twitch doesn't have any competition with other cam girls in the same way. So the idea, in order, like, Stay Safe is a good, seems like a good God-fearing conservative man. And so
I am not a conservative. I am a regressive. Conservatives are do-nothing losers. I am a regressive.
Should it be good or not? Because I bet if I ask Stay Safe, and you guys can ask him, does he think any of this content should be on any of these platforms? Well, no, he probably doesn't.
That is true. This type of sexual content should not be on Twitch. If they want to do it on Chatterbait or OnlyFans, I think OnlyFans has a live streaming service. There are other platforms dedicated to this type of sexual content. The reason why these women stream on Twitch as opposed to these other services, live streaming services dedicated to sexual content, is because they can sort of they can throw in their sexual content into the mix of otherwise innocuous non-sexual content, and almost like bait or predaciously insert their content in front of people that are not expecting it. Pretty much is why they do it. Yeah.
So, like, I think that's fine. That's totally okay. Interview him? No, I mean, I know what his perspective. He wants porn banned from the internet. That's totally fine.
Yeah. True. Yeah, that would be pretty good. That would be good. Yes. True. Yes.
If you have that perspective,
yeah,
I completely respect it.
Yeah.
That's totally okay. But what I am going to say, though, is that I'm not going to cry a river for Twitch whenever this is an internet problem as a whole. I'm not going to say that Twitch is this, like, specific bad actor whenever this is a problem on the internet as a whole. And Twitch is a very small website compared to the other websites that are a much bigger problem.
I would respond and quickly say that I don't think that because the rest of the internet or other prominent websites on the internet are debased, that Twitch must also be debased. I don't think that because there's super sexual content on TikTok that Twitch also needs to have super sexual content. I don't think that tracks. That doesn't follow with me.
Imagine opting to censor other people. Yikes. Well, again, everybody has the right to have an opinion about things.
So the chatter says, imagine opting to censor people. Everyone is pro-censorship in some way. By the way, there are FCC regulations stating that you can't have hardcore pornographic content on daytime cable TV, right? Most people are pro-censorship in that regard. So you can't say, oh, who are you to want to censor the people? Everyone is pro-censorship in some way, right? And also in different ways. So that's not a really compelling argument either.
Yeah, no, I don't, again, that's not, I don't agree with that perspective. I think that's a bad perspective to have, but that's still their right to have that perspective. But yeah, I wanted to look at that, and we'll look at, maybe we'll talk about this for like a couple of minutes. I'll read some more comments, and then I kind of want to move past this topic, since I know obviously a lot of people have wanted to get into this.
I do think this topic, my opinion on this is in the extreme minority. I totally acknowledge that, and I totally understand that. or at least if it's not in the minority, other people that share my opinion are not publicly speaking about it, and they're just remaining silent on this topic. And so I'm not really sure which. I think I probably am genuinely in the minority though. I think that most people are totally, you know what? Yeah, sure, it's all good. Yeah, who cares if there's pornographic content on Twitch? It doesn't matter. It's everywhere. Yeah, who cares? If you don't want your kids watching, it's the parents' responsibility. I think there's a lot of people that also don't think that porn is damaging to the mind of an individual whatsoever. To the mind of a child, porn, whatever, doesn't matter. To the mind of an adult, porn, it's not damaging whatsoever. Who cares? Watch porn if you want. I think there's a lot of people that genuinely feel that way. And so I do acknowledge I am in the minority. And I think that if you agree with me that porn is damaging and we should try to do our best to keep it out of society, we should try to make society less hyper promiscuous, and that most certainly we should keep pornographic content as far away from children as possible. I actually think that you are in the minority. I really do. I think if that's your stance, we're probably losing that ideological battle. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Ban porn and kids from the internet? I'll tell you guys one thing. If it was up to me, I would not allow anybody under 18 years old to make an account on social media at all. Period. I don't think minors should be on social media in any capacity. And I think that all social media should be read-only for people that are... You know how, like, for example, if I open up Twitter...
That I think at face value, does not sound like a bad idea. Then the question follows... Hold up, because I see people posting based in my chat, and like I think it kind of sounds based. How do you determine who's a child or not? And maybe there's a good way, but so let me tell you my concerns, and maybe I can get over my concerns. Maybe there's a good solution. So I'm not totally discounting it, but how do you determine who's a minor and who's not? Okay, you would need some form of identification when you are using the internet. I think it would be probably less pragmatic to enter your information, your identification into every single individual website that you are using. It would probably, to streamline the process, you'd have to submit your identification information to your ISP, I guess. This is sort of what Korea has done. South Korea has done this. And so as a result of this, online, actually, it's also China. China and South Korea have both done this, where your online presence is tied to what is effectively your social security number. Every single video game account, every single social media account that you have is tied directly to your personal identification number in the country. And what that does ultimately is it completely removes your anonymous online presence. I really, really value online anonymity. And that's maybe a different conversation, but I think that online anonymity is quite imperative to maintaining free speech in society, given the internet is a main and primary public discussion forum. And like I said, I think anonymous discussion is very, very important. And yeah, I know you do have American politicians like Nikki Haley that are pushing for that. She is suggesting that you must have personal identification tied to your online presence. I think that Jordan Peterson has pushed for that also. I am completely not a proponent of that. I really disagree with those two people. And so I think at face value, it's like, okay, get kids off of social media websites. Sure, perhaps not a bad idea, but then what follows next is pragmatically, how do you do that? And I'm not sure that there's a way to do that doesn't really, really rob people of some of their very important rights. Maybe there is, and I just don't know about it. But at least I don't know about it now.
I don't know if this is going to work or not. Read only probably didn't make sense whenever I said that. Private window. So a lot of these, I guess actually maybe I can see this. Sometimes it's changed. But like, you know how for a while you weren't able to even see anything on Twitter unless you were logged in? In my mind,
that is true.
I wish that was the way every single of these social media websites worked. That way underage people weren't able to consume content on them. And
well, we're missing an important step. That also, not only do you need to have an account and be logged in to see the content, but you also need to prove your age to make the account. And that is the mechanism. Proving your age and necessarily proving your identity to make the account that would probably be quite hard. That would be a very hard thing to do without relinquishing like some amount of online anonymous presence, which I think is very important. I really value that.
And I'm okay with a kids section for a website like YouTube, assuming that it's curated properly. But in a very general sense, I think that children have no business being on the internet. They have especially no business. Like, listen, guys.
I'm not sure if I would say that children have no business being on the internet. Growing up, this is in the 2000s and 2000 teens. A huge part of my, public school education in the U.S. was learning how to use the internet, how to use Wikipedia, how to use Google, how to navigate search engines, how like all of these things. The internet is an incredibly powerful tool that can be used for good and education and research and information if used properly and safely, right? And so I think yeah, to say that kids have no business on the internet. How does a middle schooler research their English paper? How does a high schooler conduct their write their science essay, right? How do you gather your citations for your science paper? How do you write your book report, right? Seriously, to say that anyone under the age of 18 ought not be on the internet these days is probably not what I would say.
There is no good outcome to a 15-year-old girl having an Instagram.
That is true. That's totally true. I agree with that. True.
That's it. There is no good outcome to that.
True.
So yes, that's what my viewpoint is.
That being said, I'm not sure if I would compare a 15-year-old having an Instagram, which I think is bad, to a 15-year-old having a reasonable expectation to watch Twitch and watch Minecraft content without being bombarded with hentai furry art with erect sexual organs and things like this. I think it's pretty. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe just times are changing and this is the way that it's going. I would have expected that it's reasonable to expect that your 15-year-old can browse Twitch looking for video game content without even having the capacity to incidentally stumble upon highly profane, promiscuous sexual content. And so what I'm finding out over the last day or so is that actually most people disagree with me. Most people don't really see that as being a problem. All right, I most certainly do. I
don't think kids should be on Twitch. I don't think they should be on Twitter. I don't think they should be on baseline YouTube. I don't think they should be on TikTok. I don't think they should be on Instagram. Period.
I don't think this has to be a holistic all or nothing thing. I think you can have some websites that are, okay, this is a site that is going to be safe for kids, and as such, we're going to ban sexual content. Other sites, this is a site that is not safe for kids, and we're not going to ban sexual content. And so my preference is that Twitch would ban sexual content. That is my preference. That is how it's been for quite a long time, for 10 years. As of yesterday, that changed, and now you are allowed to have hentai furry commission artwork with throbbing erect penises. Last night there was a problem with pedophilic hentai content being posted on Twitch as well, being live streamed on Twitch as well. That's very bad, in my opinion. That's very bad. So you know what? This is my personal preference or expectation of Twitch. I have always wanted hentai, for instance, to not be on Twitch. But you know what? If most people that are browsing Twitch want hentai on the platform, and most people working at Twitch want hentai on the platform, then I guess we're going to have hentai on the platform. The thing that follows, though, hear me out, is Asmon's take is that children ought not be on a site like Twitch, and that sexual content should be on a site like Twitch, and that there should be some mechanism to prevent children from even browsing Twitch unless they have an age-verified account. Okay, well, they don't have that. There's no mechanism that age verifies your account. So can I respond and say, okay, if that's how you want it to be, that's fine and great, but currently there is no mechanism to age verify accounts. So until you have that mechanism, you will continue to have children browsing Twitch, because there is actually no firm hard way that, like he is suggesting, that implements that.
They shouldn't be able to make accounts, at least. So yeah, that's my viewpoint.
Parents are the mechanism. I'm going to give you some really depressing takes right now. 25% of children over the age of 1, between 1 and 18, don't have a dad in the house. They're in single mother households. 40% of children born in 2022, 40% of children born in 2022 don't have a dad in the house. So the rate of single parent households is going up. To say that, well, parents need to take more responsibility, guess what? We have a pretty fucked up society. Okay? I think that I really, you can disagree. I really, really strongly think this, though. I think that society should be implemented in such a way that it makes it easier to raise healthy, productive children. I think society should be structured in a way that makes it easier to raise children, and we should remove figurative landmines from the parenting field of raising children. I don't think saying, oh yeah, okay, so what we're going to do is litter figurative landmines and societal poisons all over the place. We're not going to limit those at all, and then you're not allowed to complain about it because we're going to put the complete responsibility on the parents to help their kids navigate those problems. Well, why don't we just sort of remove some of those figurative poisons, right? I think that's probably good. I think it's a noble goal. Let's make it easier to be a successful parent, because right now it seems pretty hard given the downtrodden state of the traditional family unit. It seems like that. It seems like that's not really working. It seems like putting the responsibility on parents actually is not really working. And so you can deeply believe that it should be on the parents. It should fall on the parents. And you know what? Maybe you're right. But guess what? That idea is failing. It's not working. Like you can scream that. You can hold that opinion to the point where like every person in society is turning out completely debased and fucked up and porn addicted by age 12. And you can say, well, the parents should have done something. Well, it seems like it's pretty hard for parents to do something given the current state of society. And so what I'm arguing is, let's make things a little bit easier for parents, right? Given that parents are overworked, they're single, they're divorced, they're never getting married, they're whatever. There's a lot of just like absentee parents because they're overworked. It's a pretty rough dynamic for most families, I think. Yeah.
And this is nothing specific to Twitch. This is the entire internet. That doesn't matter what you think, because they will get on there. You're absolutely right. But I do think that you should at least take some precautions to make it not as common and not as allowed as it is. You are totally right.
So everything that I just said, that little monologue I gave, I know that Asmongold agrees with me because he is also advocating for age restrictions on social media websites. Do you understand that? Everything I said about making the lives of parents a little bit easier and making it easier for parents to keep their kids away from pornographic content, I know he agrees with me because at this moment he's advocating for age restrictions on social media websites, which accomplishes what I'm talking about, right? I think it's not a bad idea, but there are some concerns about online privacy and online anonymity that I would want to see addressed before that ever happened.
And the reality is that if I was 11 again, any restriction that a website had, I could have gotten past it. And I guarantee you that 11 and 12-year-olds nowadays trying to look up titties on the internet just like we all did, I can guarantee you they're all getting around it just like we did, and they're probably also not going to Twitch to look at the content.
This, I think, is not a good argument. Who here was looking at sexual or pornographic content at age 12? I'm going to pick the number 12. Who here was doing that at age 12? I most certainly was. I was. I don't think it's a compelling argument to say, well, we were all looking at pornographic content at age 12, so therefore, who cares if kids do it today? I want my children, and also the next generation of children in the country to be better than I was and my generation was. I don't want this downward drain of society. Okay, I want my kids to be better. I don't want my kids to have to battle the poisons that I had to battle in my life. I don't want the kids of the nation to have to battle the poisons that the kids of the nation had to battle 15 years ago. So to say, oh well, we were looking at porn when back in 2010 when we were kids or whatever, I don't know, however old you were. So therefore we should let kids do that still today. No, let's put a stop to that. I think we can acknowledge I at age 12 should not have been looking at porn. I'm from a single parent household. I didn't have parental oversight. Okay. I don't want kids to have to have exposure to the same poison that I had exposure to when I was a kid. I don't want them. It can be quite damaging, for real. Seriously. I think we can say that was a bad thing that we experienced. That was a bad thing that we were exposed to. Let's try to make sure kids in the future don't have to be exposed to those things ever again. That's my take.
They're probably not even going to Twitch to begin with. That's what I think. Notes on the art section and the anime girls looking very young. I don't know how you'd ever police that. It's very hard, to be honest with you. So the way that you police it, there is the one way that you can police it, is that you do what South Korea does, is every single person has an account that's registered in their name with effectively a social security number. And now this also removes anonymity from the internet. So you're asking yourself which
problem.
one is more important, right? Because do you want to trade away your anonymity on the internet, or do you want to have a safer space for kids? Now, here's what my perspective is. I think that we should continue to have anonymity.
I think you can have both. All it takes is web domain owners or content creators or...
Please don't ever let this site compromise your morals. You are literally the only person with a normal person take on this stupid site.
Thank you. I think really all it takes is website owners, the owners of Twitch, streamers, you guys in the chat to speak up about it. Really, I think you can have online anonymity and spaces that are safe for children as long as people are listen, hey, it's important for children to be able to watch video game content and not also be one click away from furry hentai or pedophilic hentai or whatever. I think if enough people raise their voice and speak up about that, then you can have both. You can maintain online anonymity and also video game adjacent safe spaces for kids. I think you can do both of those things, but it takes people speaking up about it and saying, hey, listen, this is something that's important.
Anonymity on the internet outside of national security threats like terrorism, like CP, stuff like that. And parents should just do a better job parenting their children and making sure their kids don't go on the internet and look at bad things. I don't think that it's the entire world's responsibility to exist as a safe space for kids.
In a way, I kind of disagree. I want my country to be conducive for raising healthy families. I want my country to be designed in a way that is conducive for healthy, traditional, functional family units. And as such, I want to minimize the amount of societal poison that is being presented in front of children and also adults. And this is why I want heroin to be illegal and criminally punished. This is why I want methamphetamine to be illegal and criminally punished. This is why I don't want gambling on Twitch. By the way, a lot of people just 1 year ago were talking about the children when gambling was up for discussion. When we were talking about gambling a year ago, a lot of people, content creators right now that are shouting down the idea of children being on Twitch or blaming parents, they were saying, well, we need to think of the kids and get rid of gambling. I'm both. I don't want the highly promiscuous sexual content on the platform or the gambling content. And so I was pretty happy the day that gambling got kicked off the platform a year ago. And I'm a little bit disappointed that now we have literal hentai on the platform on Twitch. Not so happy about that. But I don't think you can make that argument one way and not the other way. I think both can be incredibly damaging and predatory in the way that they're implemented on this platform and the internet as a whole. And I think that making a concerted effort as a society, as a culture, to keep these things away from children, but also to a certain extent, just people at large, I think is a pretty noble goal. Pretty noble goal. He says that society should not be formulated in a way that is designed for kids. I kind of disagree. I do. I think that one of the first and foremost goals of a society should be to make sure that family units are happy, healthy, and safe, and that children are not being exposed to what could be catastrophic figurative poisons. Yeah.
So that's what I think. Phone number or credit card? I mean, that's all the same thing, right? All of that is the same thing, is that you don't have anonymity anymore. Like if you have a phone number or a credit card, this is probably in your name. And if it's not in your name, so let's use the logic here. If it's not in your name and anybody can sign up for it and make a fake one, then what use was the measure in the first place? Because couldn't kids do that too? You see what I'm saying? So we don't have anonymity? You have anonymity generally.
Generally, yep.
Safe take is an L take? You think this is a safe take? Bro, are you crazy? Bro, I've made everybody mad today. Everybody has been mad.
Here's the thing. I think, I really like Asmongold. I think Asmongold is generally a force for good on Twitch, and maybe the world. He's a force for good in the world. Asmongold is very laissez-faire, hands-off libertarian, and I respect that approach to life. I like that mindset, but it doesn't seem to work if you've got too many bad faith actors in your society or in your culture. If you have people that are looking to abuse your laissez-faire libertarian approach to the world, then you will end up with hentai pedophilic content on your video game streaming website, because they are bad faith actors and they are abusing your tolerance. Your tolerance is being abused, right? And I think that endless tolerance of debased, perverse, profane ideologies or behavioral patterns is a downward spiral. And I think at some point the only way that stops, I think the only way that society stops sort of regressing or becoming further debased is for people to hold up and say, wait a minute, you know what? This is too far. Okay, this here, whatever it might be, this here, line in the sand. This is too far. We need to stop this. This is unacceptable.
And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going to stop. So no. It's not if this is what you think a safe take is, I don't know what the fuck. What do you want me to be saying? Like you gotta, what the hell you want me to be saying? You want me to do some crazy ass shit, huh? Why would you care about anonymity if you don't do anything illegal?
That comment is incredibly moronic. Let's see what Asmongold says.
Because anonymity is also privacy. So you could make that same logic for like, I don't know, like a government having a camera in your house. Well, what's the problem about that if you're not doing anything illegal? Well, it's your privacy, right? Well, the same thing applies to the internet. No, it's a very common thing. A lot of people say that because some of them don't really understand the context of these kinds of things. Sure. Embarrassing that.
By the way, my answer real fast is that I think that anonymous speech is necessary in the effort of preserving free speech. I think that anonymous speech must be preserved in order to maintain free speech. In fact, as an American, this is uniquely historically substantiated because the Federalist Papers and Common Sense, which were pivotal documents in the ratification of the U.S. Constitution and also in sparking and catalyzing the Revolutionary War, those were published anonymously because there was a hugely regressive, not regressive. There was a totalitarian regime that was suppressing American colonialist civil liberties. It's called the British, and if these things had been published under a publisher's name, those people would have been executed and the movements would have been halted immediately. And so these really important papers that are super crucial and axiomatic to the creation of the nation that we have now were actually published anonymously. You can make a good argument that we only have a nation right now, America, because of anonymous publishing of this very important literature. So I think that anonymous speech allows people to speak truth to power in a safe way, because let's be real, power is pretty eager to silence people that have dissenting speech, right? And I think that anonymous speech in public forums allows people to really adequately combat that and combat totalitarianism. You saw that at the ratification of the country, and you see that, I think, probably still to this day with online dissident anonymous rhetoric. I think so.
That's when I made that argument online. Have you ever been censored by Twitch? I'm censored by Twitch every single day. I'll give you an example. I'm censored by Twitch whenever people ask me what I think about the people that are drawing cartoons of lollies. I'm censored by Twitch.
I'm not. I think those people should get the death sentence. I think if you're distributing pedophilic hentai or pedophilic non-hentai, any sort of pedophilic content, I think you should get the death sentence. Seriously, I'm not going to be censored by that. I think it is disgusting. It's disgusting. And yet yesterday, still and today, I have been very, very bothered by this stuff taking place on this platform, and also the amount of hand waving and apologetics that people have been engaging in, saying, "Oh, it's not a big deal, whatever." It really bothers me. It really makes me sick. And that's not what Asmongold is doing. By the way, that's not what he's doing, but I've seen other people doing that.
Twitch, because I can't give my opinion on that. Yes. I get, of course, everything that you see on Twitch is censored. Please continue to announce how uneducated you are in the history of humanity. Oh, I think this person's actually not talking about me. And the government defines illegality. Yes, true. Absolutely. Twitch has a policy on you having an opinion on lollies? No. They just have a policy on my opinion.
Huh?
Yeah, they have a policy. This is not any opinion, just my opinion. Specific.
Are we on the same page? Is he talking about pedophiles should be executed? Is that his opinion? I don't know. Just say it, Asmongold.
Specifically, my opinion. This is possible. Yeah, let's just hear. Twitch changed their policy for women giving them a safe place to work compared to the companies that might not keep their information and payments safer. I don't know. I think that Twitch has had leaks too. I mean, every platform has leaks. That's just how things go. Policy that extend on what you're allowed to say. Yes, true. Twitch isn't the government. You accept their terms of service and you make an account. True.
I think that's kind of it. I think that's pretty much the response. Like I said, it seems like Asmongold is just sort of a hands-off libertarian type of guy. My big critique of hands-off libertarian approach to society is that if you have too many people that don't share your beliefs, your very hands-off, laissez-faire libertarian beliefs, then your beliefs are not going to get you very far. Your society is going to not do very well. Meaning, if you have too many bad faith actors or people that are willing to use the degree to which you are tolerant to destroy society or push their own just insane or highly perverse or destructive or abusive ideology or agenda, then you won't be around for very long. I'll give you an example. If you've got 9 people in an area that don't respect property rights, and you are the one person that is libertarianistically respecting property rights and property autonomy, you're not going to have your property for very long, because everyone around you, all 9 people around you, don't give a fuck about your claim to your property. They're going to come and take it from you, right? And you can say, oh well, you know, if only they were libertarians. Yeah, if they were libertarians, then that might work. In fact, it would. If you had 10 libertarians, you'd probably live pretty peacefully. But I don't think that is the dynamic that we'd have. I don't think that is the society that I have, and so. Using this very hands-off, oh, well, if it doesn't impact me, oh, well, let people do what they want, oh, well, you know. I think you've got enough bad faith actors that is not going to work. I I don't think that that approach is going to make our society better. I really don't. I really don't. In fact, that approach might, to some degree, that endless amount of tolerance might actually have been a causal factor in why things are getting worse, right? But that's my take. That's my take on the Asmongold thing. I really like Asmongold. I do. I like Asmongold. I think he's a strong thinker. But this is in fact on most topics I agree with him. But not this one. I disagree on this one. That's my take. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Okay, thank you.